I feel like I'm living in the Stranger Things upside down world because the takes of the national media are so bizarre that I feel like I'm just popping crazy pills. I think the Denver Broncos are out here running circles around dudes, tricking the NFL and getting one over on them. Yeah, I'm reading an article today that just has me baffled. We're going to break that down. Why I think the Jerry Jeudy trade and what we got for him was an absolute steal, even though others are saying it's something that's going to come back and bite us in the butt, something we're going to regret. Let's dive into it. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ben, diehard Denver Broncos fan. Love having you along for the ride. It would help me out if you agree that the Denver Broncos have already hit rock bottom and we're bouncing up fast. Helps me out a lot if you would like and subscribe. So an article here in the Bleacher Report. This article breaks down the 10 moves they think the author thinks that teams are going to regret the most from this offseason. And what this author claims is that number 3, like 3 out of 10, meaning pretty bad, is going to be that Jerry Jeudy was traded for pennies on the dollar in return for Jerry Jeudy. So to recap, the biggest diva on our team, a me-first guy on this team, the one who gets in fights with sideline reporters, we're able to move on from him and his contract for 2 draft picks from the New York Jets, a fifth round draft pick and a 6th round draft pick. And then we're able to go out and get a guy who was even better than he was last year and all these prior years, who's not a me first guy. We were just able to convince him to come here because the vibes are so good and he's always wanted to play for Sean Payton. Yet here's what they're saying in this article, that trading Jerry Jeudy is a move the Broncos will regret because we didn't get a lot for him, and then they were able to negate and kind of circumvent some of his cap hits. And they think Jerry Jeudy is going to be a reliable number 2. Yeah, tell that guy he's number 2 and see how that goes for you. I can tell you it's not going to go well for you. I feel like I wanted him to succeed for so long and believed for so long and was constantly disappointed. So just looking at it from the sheer numbers of what we were able to replace him for just in a free agent signing, someone who always wanted to come play with Sean Payton, he was a 67.8 from PFF, and the guy we were able to just pick up off the street and convince to come play here was almost a 70 on PFF. So you look, he had Josh Reynolds from the Lions, had 5 touchdowns last year, and we remember Jerry Jeudy didn't get his touchdowns until Stidham was back there, that he had 84 targets and 54 receptions. And then you look here that Josh Reynolds had 61 targets and 40 receptions. So he had a higher catch rate on plays that he was actually targeted and got in the end zone more than twice as much as Jerry Jeudy did last year. And then if you go out and just take a look at some of the other advanced stats with him, that quarterbacks throwing to Josh Reynolds last year had a 119 passer rating almost, which is crazy, 14th among all wide receivers. And we know that because Jerry Jeudy was constantly wanting the ball, there's no way that Russell Wilson or Jarrett Stidham's passer rating actually increased when they targeted him. Instead, he became kind of a nagging thing in the back of the head of both Russell Wilson and Jarrett Stidham. And so I think Bo Nix, you are playing next to Jerry Jeudy, you know you have to get him the ball, even if that's not what the play design has been made for. And you know that if you don't get him the ball when he's open, he's going to mope his way on back to the line of scrimmage. And that's just not a good setup for our new quarterback. And so I think it's fantastic that Jerry Jeudy is off of this team. And I actually think if you were just to tell me that all the Denver Broncos did was replace Josh Reynolds for Jerry Jeudy, I'd be like, that's a win. We won that little exchange there. I know those two weren't necessarily related. We could have got Josh Reynolds and kept Jerry Jeudy, but I think just that change right there is a win. You take a look at this play for the Lions. That's Amon St. Brown catching that and going out, and boom, he's about to get tackled. Who lays the wood down on him? But here we go. Our boy right there. Josh Reynolds, amazing right there. Taking a look here, you're just looking at his touchdown passes last year, a couple incredible ones right here. And tell me a single time you remember Jerry Jeudy catching a contested ball like that and taking a shot and hanging onto it. I think he scored 2 touchdowns in this game, but like that, I don't ever remember Jerry Jeudy having a catch like that with the Denver Broncos last year. And then again, here he is. Again, watch the space he's able to create, the double move there. He doesn't give up on the play, tiptoeing the back round right there. And again, here he is again against the Seattle Seahawks again, who he will face in game 1 this year as a Denver Bronco. Like, man, just catching the ball right there in space. And I feel like those plays alone right there, if you were just to say, hey, Josh Reynolds for Jerry Jeudy, you made that swap, I'd be like, Denver Broncos just got better. But wait, there's more. I feel like this is a Flex Seal nighttime commercial on infomercial or something. We got so much more than just getting Josh Reynolds for Jerry Jeudy. We truly upgraded everywhere. So with that 6th round draft pick, we were able to take that 6th round draft pick and get a starting defensive lineman in John Franklin Myers from the New York Jets. Fantastic move that he started. You watched the press conference where Saleh broke down the fact that he left, and they're on the verge of tears talking about how sad they were to watch him go, that he was an amazing force in the locker room, that he was a leader of his teammates. He made everybody better. So just as far as a team chemistry kind of thing goes, that you're able to swap him for a starting defensive lineman is fantastic. And looking at some of his highlights from last year, like, this dude is disruptive. He's having interceptions in the backfield. He's having sacks in the backfield. Incredible. And then on top of that, we were able to get a 5th round draft pick from the Cleveland Browns in that trade, and we were able to use that draft pick to draft a guy who looks a lot like the Honey Badger did, and that's Kris Abrams-Draine. I really think that this year it's going to be Riley Moss, Pat Surtain, and Jaquan McMillian in the backfield, but I could truly see a world where sooner than later we have a starting corner in Kris Abrams-Draine, and if you watched the talent he went up against playing for Mizzou and just his output, it's impressive. So as we let this highlight package kind of roll, just look, he's playing big name teams. He's coming up, making gigantic hits in the backfield. You see him making interceptions. He's got tremendous ball skills. So a cornerback who can lay the wood and lay somebody out. He's playing Tennessee, Florida. Like, he's playing against real teams here, even though he's at Mizzou. And some of the better plays in college football last year were made by him, a cornerback who can come up and make the big hit. So I think the fact that we were able to get 2 potential starting defenders for Jerry Jeudy, and we got a wide receiver who I think all of us would prefer having to Jerry Jeudy. I'm just thrilled with how that worked, and I have zero clue how on earth this guy writing for Bleacher Report comes out and says we're going to regret that. Even I'm taking a look at a couple blue check marks and how they had the mock draft playing out. And Kris Abrams-Draine was mocked here to the Cowboys in the 1st round. We were able to get him in the 5th. And again here, this is a Lions beat reporter who has Kris Abrams-Draine off the board by the 24th pick of the 1st round. So the Denver Broncos were able to pick up a starting wide receiver in Josh Reynolds, a new starting defensive lineman that we're able to trade with the New York Jets for, and then on top of that, able to get a potential starting cornerback. So I think the Denver Broncos are running circles around the entire NFL, and I hope you agree with me. A massive, massive happy Memorial Day to everybody out there. This is one of those days. I grew up in Denver, Colorado, living in Westminster and Thornton my whole life. And then during COVID, my family and I moved out to Michigan, and Memorial Day is definitely a day I miss being home. So if you are in Colorado, I hope you got a chance to check out the Boulder, which is like probably the best, one of the best road races in the entire world. And I was a homer when I used to say that, but now I've moved outside of Colorado and I still can say that. So I hope you're getting some Bojo's pizza or hitting up Illegal Pete's or doing all the fun Colorado things that I can't do here in Michigan. And I know a lot of you out there are veterans and have served our country, so thank you so much for all of your service. And I know a lot of you comment here on the channel, and so a massive Memorial Day mile high salute to all of you and Broncos country. Let's believe. Ah.